Well, this story kind of sucks for the San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi Leonard has been medically cleared to return from a right quad tendinopathy injury, but since shutting down a 9-game return to the Spurs that ended January 13th, he has elected against returning to the active roster. If Kawhi returns, it will be because he has decided he can manage the pain of the injury, according to sources. The injury rehab and timetable for a return has complicated the Spurs and Kawhi's relationship, causing tension and fraying the fabric of what was once a strong partnership. The uncertainty surrounding this season and Leonard's future, which could include free agency in the summer of 2019, has inspired a palpable stress around the organization, league sources said.
Now, good.
Gregg Popovich.
You deserve some stress, the Spurs. What? Steady as she goes, Spurs.
Steady as she goes?
Yeah, you deserve some stress.
You remember nothing, do you?
That's true. What?
You heard me.
What was the question?
It wasn't. It was a question. It was a question. You remember nothing.
Tell me.
Have they not had to deal with age and injuries every single year?
Yes, but they solved it.
Why do you hate this? Oh, because
I hate the Spurs because they're boring, and it really is
boring. Fundamental basketball is boring basketball.
Here is what they're Kaiser Permanente. They're not United Healthcare. They're Kaiser Permanente. They're like a wellness program. And it involves a lot of preventative care.
I disagree.
And like you sit, because I know your bones are made of paper now, but we manage it. We put you on a timetable. We got you on a wellness calendar. It's fine. You're hurting. That's
a bad comparison.
And it's contagious. The fraying is now contagious. We didn't know. We thought it was just a result of being 100 years old. The fraying of tendons is contagious. We didn't know that. Now we do. Poor Kawhi, he's a baby and he's still hurt. Continue.
I don't want to. I want to hear where you keep going.
I'm just saying, like,
I completely disagree with everything you're saying.
Good, bring it. Tell me why.
So first off, your Kaiser Permanente crap, like, I don't care about that. You know who else doesn't? Them. Secondly, if you want to make a fair comparison, the San Antonio Spurs are like Mario Kart on N64, where the rest of the teams in the NBA are playing it on Wii. They're more advanced. They're a little bit better. They don't have as slow of a system, but it's still awesome and classic and fun to play. And that's what the Spurs are.
How is it fun?
Mario Kart on N64?
I guess
Thank you.
I guess that's
Craig,
fun.
Off camera, that's all I play.
My criticism would be, your analogy breaks down because N64 Mario Kart is fun.
You went with corporate America.
Spurs,
you literally lost everyone in the room.
The thing about the Spurs is that it is non-fancy stars playing fundamental basketball well within a system that is efficient and smart. Have you ever been to a Kaiser Permanente? The Kaiser Permanente system is a bunch of like lines on the ground and ways to usher you through.
So they sketch them out.
So that you can get your preventative care. It's just like, this is what you do. It is moving, following this system, and it ends up being more efficient than other people with probably better resources.
Right.
Because they figured out things ahead of time.
All right, so let's stop for a second. If you add in Kaiser Permanente with like Fabio, then we're talking, because that's Kawhi Leonard to the San Antonio Spurs.
Right, they got like a hotshot surgeon, and he got arthritis. He got like a tremor.
Gregg Popovich weighed in, by the way. Here's what he said.
I shoot with this one.
And Kawhi, I'll be surprised if he returns this season.
Is there a reason why?
Well, we only have X number of games left this season. He's still not ready to go. And if by some chance he is, it's going to be pretty late into the season, and it's going to be a tough decision, how late to bring somebody back. So that's why I'm just trying to be honest and logical. I'll be surprised if he gets back this year.
Poppy played the whole season, frankly, without him.
This is true.
About circling the wagons, it is what it is. It's just going.
Well, we've got to move on. The team has to realize that this is who we are, this is who we have, this is going to play, and wishing and hoping doesn't do anybody any good. We've got to do what we can to be the best team possible as the season winds down. There's only 23 games left, something like that.
Get it out. Once you pointed out that Powell missed every shot, that's all I could focus on.
All I noticed. I didn't hear a word he said.
What What's your
for
take?
a guy who has great soft touch? Too.
Yeah.
You know, man, was he missing from the
with
elbow?
no defense?
With
just
no defense.
Just in a shoot around.
A
you
catch
should
and
make
shoot.
78% of your shots if you're a pro, right? Isn't that like the stat? Sir, what do you think about Kawhi's approach? Is he earnestly stopping out because he's hurt? Is he frustrated with the team? Why is Kawhi still out, though he's been medically cleared?
I will get to that in 1 second.
Nope.
Here is what Jalen Rose said a while ago via Newsweek. He started all this. Kawhi Leonard wants to leave the Spurs. ESPN's Jalen Rose claims.
I like Jalen Rose claims.
We should keep a list.
Just like he wants out of the Spurs.
I remember Jalen Rose claimed that Russell Westbrook and Kevin Love were leaving their respective teams to go join to make a super team in LA.
My favorite Jalen Rose moment was outside the ESPYs one year. These girls came up and were like, "Can we get a picture?" And he was like, "Sure." And they gave him the camera and stood in front of the fountain or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, you don't know who I am, do you?" And he was like, "All right, fine." And then I made eye contact with him, and he was just, and we were both just like, "Ah."
How many years ago?
This was probably 5, 6 years ago.
What was his reaction?
6 years. He was just like,
to you?
It was just like, we all got it. It was just like these girls aren't sports fans and they're not here for the ESPYs. They're here just because they're here.
I would think he would have the same reaction as Larry David did with the waiter when he asked to broil the snapper in the last season of Kurt, where it was like,
it was just a laugh. It was just like,
oh, I'm shocked. Okay, my thought.
I thought it was funny.
That's great. I want to hear more awkward Jalen Rose stories.
That's the only one I got. Well, the other ones is like he claims these things are true and they end up not being.
It's true. Jalen Rose claims. Just get the hashtag going. So here's my thought.
Bring it.
I remember when Derrick Rose was unfortunately suffered his first ACL injury. A game that he probably shouldn't have been in any longer. Playoffs against the Sixers. He went through everything that he had to do in order to rehab himself, to put himself in that position to then play again. The one thing he didn't do under the doctor's orders was go back and play. And that was a problem that I think really hurt him. Because if the doctors are telling you to do something, basically you are at the finish line, but you're not crossing.
Right.
I have a feeling that's gonna hurt you. So with Kawhi now being fully healthy and deciding not to come back, I think that could hurt him.
Well, it was a qualified bill of health. It was not he is cleared and full and free of pain. It was he is medically cleared. Everything we can do to treat him, we've done. And we think, given our parameters of clearing someone, he could go back and play. They point to Parker and say he was able to overcome the same injury. And manage the pain. It is that maybe Kawhi is looking around, seeing the lay of the land. This team does just fine without me. I'm bored of being the hotshot surgeon at Kaiser Permanente, where they don't value my skills. And I'm gonna sit out for 2 reasons. One, I think they can get on fine without me. The reasons I just mentioned.
They can't.
But fine. But they can get on fine. Is
it already a lost season? Put yourself in Kawhi's shoes. Let's just say
it's just they're going to be
Golden State and you have Houston. You can't get past those 2 teams with the roster that you have.
He just is looking around saying to himself, listen, I'm not going to overcome those obstacles. This is not, especially without Kawhi, it's not going to be one of those years where it's like, ugh, the Spurs went further than teams I enjoy watching play basketball again.
That's just you.
That's just me and a lot of folks. And then the other part of it is he says to himself, if I come back, I run the risk of this hurting all the time. If I give it more time, I might reduce that risk of perpetual injury, and not injury, but perpetual hurt and pain.
Okay, so do you think that this is the signal of the end for Kawhi Leonard as a San Antonio Spur?
Yes. And you can still not really be a Spur and still play for the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like he can still in his heart be like, all right, I'm just kind of phoning it in. I'm a competitor. I'm going to come to play, but he's still going to look across the the interstate and be like, grass is greener.
Who's your favorite character in Mario Kart?
Ooh, I personally just go Mario sometimes.
This is so boring.
Sometimes I'm boring it up. With the new one on the Wii U, I do like the gold ones, like the gold plated whatevers.
Okay.
Isn't there like a gold? You don't play. He's friggin' N64 over here.
Yoshi, yeah, it's a good call.
Yoshi is so cool that it's become boring.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I sometimes do Wario.
I'm a Wario.
Yeah. Wow. When I went to Japan and raced Mario Karts on the streets of Tokyo, which you can do. They're not technically. It's called Maricar. It's not Mario Kart.
But they have a lane for you.
No, you're on the street in Mario Karts.
Get out of here.
For sure.
Did you almost get hit?
Yes. My wife was like, "You almost died. You have no clue that you almost did this. You almost got run over by a bus." You should do Maricar. Go before you go to Tokyo. Go to AAA and get your international driver's license. Absolutely do it. It's absolutely worth it. And I dressed as Mario, and my wife dressed as Luigi, even though I should have been Luigi because I'm taller.
Yeah, and she's smart.
Also, she bought all the outfits, and so I had no choice. We packed overalls, hats, gloves, fake mustaches for the trip, and then you get there and they take you to the waiting area and it's just all Mario outfits.
Yeah.
Jumpers, onesies, just get in it.
Gotcha. And these are like go-karts?
It's little go-karts. They're freaking awesome.
Are they fast?
Oh, they're fast. We're on the highway.
Come on.
This high off the ground with a flag, and it's just like, do it, man.
How pissed were people at you guys for being in front of them?
Everyone goes, kawaii.
What does that mean?
Cute.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone loved it. You're going like through Shibuya Crossing for most of it. We went down to Roppongi. We came over like an overpass. A real Chicago style pizza. That's that.
Did they have any?
I'm sure they do.
In Japan?
In Tokyo, they just have everything.
That's awesome.
It's like New York. You should, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Come along. I think we're maybe going in April.
Let me just say one quick thing. To anybody who is still on this clip, thank you. Secondly, if you are in Japan, we are the complete opposite of those douchebag Paul brothers.
Yeah.
Where we will not take a crap on your fine city and your fine country. We absolutely promise. So we'll see you then.